This is GMC on Fox Virginia with Bo Sykes, Brenna Kiefner, and meteorologist Delaney Tharp. Now, this is GMC on Fox Virginia.
Coming up on GMC, a response from a Turks and Caicos official after hearing criticism from American lawmakers over the possible sentence faced by a Louisa County man who pleaded guilty to having live ammo in his luggage.
12 years in a jail in Turks and Caicos is way over the top.
And that's what Senator Mark Warner says about the possible sentence that might be given to the Louisa County man who's being detained in Turks and Caicos for having that live ammo in his luggage. We have the latest on the efforts to bring him home.
A lot of us are getting ready to travel this weekend. I'm Doug Luzader in Washington. We'll have more on the impact of rising prices just ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for GMC on Fox Virginia. I'm Bo Sykes.
And I'm Brenna Kiefner. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment. But first, let's get a check on the Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Delaney Tharp. It's the unofficial start of summer this weekend.
It certainly is, Bo and Brenna, and it feels like it.
It does.
Yes.
We're already in the 60s and 70s outside with some rain activity now, but we're continuing with the unsettled pattern, which arguably makes it feel even more like summer.
Yeah, the humidity, right?
Right?
Oof.
Yeah. We've got a lot of convective events going on. We're continuing with that today. The past few hours, I've seen a couple of light rain showers, but not necessarily any bolts of lightning, at least with this system. A little bit later on in the afternoon, we will have the opportunity for a couple of thunderstorms. Temperature-wise across the Commonwealth this morning, 60s. Right now, 69 in Charlottesville, 66 in Louisa and Lake Monticello, 64 in Orange, and 65 in Scottsville this morning. As you're headed out the door, make sure and grab that umbrella. Those scattered showers will continue for the next couple of hours. We'll get a slight break around lunchtime, but then resume with showers and storms that are possible this afternoon, but they'll be a little bit more isolated than what we're even experiencing currently. High temperatures in the 80s once again today, 85 degrees by 3 o'clock as we're continuing with that above average warming pattern for the next few days as well. Now, today's not the only chance we have for some rainfall. As we head into Memorial Day weekend, we have a lot of outdoor plans on the horizon and some rainfall that might affect it. I'll have the timeline of the rain showers and the full weekend forecast coming up.
Turks and Caicos government officials responding to their American counterparts who are urging them to release 5 Americans.
The 5 Americans are facing prison sentences of up to 12 years on charges suggesting that they illegally carried ammunition during recent trips.
3 of the arrests have prompted pleas for mercy from the governors of Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and here in Virginia. The island's government says they do not target Americans or any other nationality. The premier says the law must be applied, quote, even-handedly.
No special carve-out should be made for any particular group of persons.
He says their justice system upholds the rights and freedoms of everyone while maintaining security at the islands. A man from Louisa County, who we mentioned, who's pleaded guilty to having live ammunition in his luggage in Turks and Caicos, is getting high-powered support from American lawmakers.
31-year-old Tyler Wenrich is expected to be sentenced on May 28th in the Caribbean island court system. And Fox Virginia's Garrett Winton has an update.
12 years in a jail in Turks and Caicos is way over the top.
31-year-old Louisa County man Tyler Wenrich pleaded to 2 counts of ammunition possession on Tuesday.
We are trying to work with the Turks and Caicos government to have them be understanding.
Wenrich is one of 5 Americans who have been arrested for reportedly possessing ammunition on the island, where it is illegal to carry firearms or ammunition.
They changed their law a number of months back because the level of gun violence has gone up dramatically.
Both Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner believe Wenrich made a mistake.
These are not people who were intending to harm others.
While Warner thinks the Turks and Caicos policy is, quote, extreme, he understands the rule of law.
So I respect their country's right to have, tough gun laws. I wish in certain cases we had a little more reasonable approach at the federal level on things like assault weapons.
CBS 6 in Richmond reports Wenrich flew from Richmond International to Miami to board a cruise. As far as how his backpack with 2 bullets got through airport screening, the TSA says that while they have video of Wenrich going through security, they cannot confirm whether his backpack got through because there is no X-ray evidence. The TSA is aware of a similar situation that happened in Oklahoma City and is gathering information to look into the matter further. I asked both Kaine and Warner whether these incidents are saying anything about the United States Transportation Security Administration's abilities.
How did they get through TSA screening with live ammunition? I think that's a very real question.
I don't know the answer to that question, and you're asking me makes me want to know the answer to the question.
Both say they are working with colleagues to figure out how to bring Wenrick and the others back home.
We're just trying to solve this on a diplomatic level.
In a statement I received, TSA says it's, quote, here to protect our transportation security systems, and we encourage passengers to start packing with an empty bag to ensure against unintentionally traveling to a checkpoint with prohibited items. It also encourages travelers to be aware of their destination's local laws. Garrett Witten, Fox Virginia News.
That was Garrett Witten reporting, and Wenrich is expected to be sentenced on Tuesday.
A man who pleaded guilty to his involvement in a drive-by shooting last year will not serve any jail time. 22-year-old Keith Beasley pleaded guilty to being a non-violent felon in possession of a gun in March. The charge came from a drive-by shooting that happened on Preston Avenue in May of last year. Local schools had to delay dismissals because of the situation. Beasley was sentenced to 5 years in jail with all time suspended and will have to serve a year and a half of probation.
The Fluvanna County Sheriff's Office is warning people about a phone scam. Someone has been calling people in Fluvanna, Albemarle, and Charlottesville pretending to be a Fluvanna County deputy and demanding money in order to avoid arrest. The caller, though, is using real deputies' names, but with a spoofed phone number. The Sheriff's Office says that this is fake and that they will not demand money in exchange for not being arrested. If you do get this call, do not give the scammer any of your personal information, but just try to record as much information as you can and call the Fluvanna County Sheriff's Office to report the scam.
The Tom Sachs organization is looking for 5 to 7 more families to host players, interns, and coaches for the summer season. Anyone who's interested can apply to be a host family. You have to offer your guest bed, access to a bathroom, laundry, and a kitchen. Most players are very busy 6 days a week and don't plan to eat with their families unless offered. Some will stay for the entire summer. Others will be here for a few weeks. The Tom Sachs president said either way, you'll get a new family member.
It's family-friendly entertainment. You get into all of the Valley League baseball games, including the All-Star Weekend. And you just get to have a really amazing kid live in your house. We still keep in touch with kids that have lived with us since 2015.
The team, interns, and coaches are having a meet and greet on Thursday, May 30th at Brazos Tacos at Barracks. That's from 4 to 6 p.m. The first game of the season is June 1st at 7 p.m. at Charlottesville High School.
91,000 pounds of food. That's how much food the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank says was collected during this year's Stamp Out Hunger food drive. The BRAFB says that this will provide over 76,000 meals to area families that are experiencing food insecurity. Stamp Out Hunger is put on annually by the National Association of Letter Carriers, and it is the largest single-day food drive in the country.
Gas prices fell just a bit overnight, just in time for what's expected to be a very busy holiday travel weekend.
But fuel is now more expensive than it was a month ago. And while the number of travelers may be up, so are most prices across the board. As Doug Luzader reports this morning, the political blame game has already started.
Gas prices have been relatively stable recently, but they have gone up considerably in recent years, and that has led to a lot of finger pointing around here. Whether you fly or drive, there's no holiday from high prices this year.
Well, hello, everybody.
At a massive rally late yesterday in Deep Blue, New York, former President Trump reminded supporters of the trajectory of gas prices.
We had gasoline down to $1.87 a gallon, and actually times when it was much lower than that.
And Trump blamed President Biden for discouraging energy development. Gas prices are actually off of their peak, but they are up considerably since Biden took office.
That is sickening.
Democrats, on the other hand, blame Trump for meeting with oil executives who they say are gouging consumers.
Instead of working to lower gas prices for Americans ahead of a busy Memorial Day weekend, big oil company executives are huddling to find ways to keep prices high and keep their profits soaring.
The AAA says about 44 million of us will travel 50 miles or more from home over the Memorial Day weekend, even as 72% of voters tell us high prices in general are affecting summer vacation plans. The White House just announced this week the release of about 42 million gallons of gas from the Northeast Reserve that the government is winding down, hoping it provides some price relief later in the summer. But the impact may be limited, and an analyst for Gas Buddy says the country will burn through that gas in just under 3 hours. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
For many Americans, trips to the grocery store can be a trying time amid ongoing inflation.
Inflation may be cooling, but it still has a tight grip on the nation. I'm Chanley Painter with a look at how it's all impacting Americans' diets. Coming up.
Temperatures will rise back into the 80s today with the opportunity for more rain and a few rumbles of thunder. I'll have the full Memorial Day weekend forecast coming up right after the break.